Today, we will be reading Natural Gas, an American Treasure. And while reading this, we're going to put in small annotations along the snowy white area of our page. And we'll even pause sometimes in between reading to think about what we're reading and really comprehend what we're reading about. Okay? So we know straight from the title it's about natural gas. Okay? Let's begin. When gas burns, it makes energy. That energy is heat. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right there because I already want to mark heat, red hot. Energy is heat. Okay? We'll just draw a little arrow so we can remember that. Natural gas is mostly made of 3 gases. Alright, so we see 3 gases. That already makes me think this is going to be important. Okay, so we're going to underline 3 gases. And let's look at those 3 gases. 3 gases are methane, ethane, and propane. Out of those 3, I've heard of 2 of those before. I don't know exactly what they are, but just thinking about it, I've heard about them. And they sound familiar. Never heard of ethane, though. So let's read ahead and let's see if we can find out what those are. People have learned to use natural gas in many ways. Natural gas is great. So we're going to pause and think about what went on in between in that paragraph. Is there more to reflect on, or did we cover it all? I think we covered it all. Let's go ahead and move on. We use natural gas every day. Wow, every day. That's a lot. When you turn on hot water, natural gas probably heated it. Hot water. We use hot water every day to take a shower, take a bath. So we kind of write out to the side. Hot water. Let's see, shower / bath. Everyone does that. Okay? Just think about all the things people need to do heat. So let's think about that. What all do people need to use heat for? Well, we need hot water. We need to heat up food. Let's see. There's lots of things. Those are just a few I can think of off the top of my head. Natural gas can help do that. Farms use gas-made fertilizer, so the farmers may have grown your food with that fertilizer. People even use natural gas in cars. Natural gas really is the most important resource under the ground. It's very special. So one thing right here that we read that I didn't know before is natural gas is underground? What? I didn't know that. It's a resource under the ground. So let's kind of go outside and draw an arrow going underground. So we remember it's deep underground. Because most of the time when you think of gas, we think of air. But this is a different kind of gas. This is underground. We also use natural gas to make electricity. We use coal, wind, the sun, water, and uranium to make electricity too. But natural gas is cleaner. So let's underline that with green because cleaner is good for our environment. It's nice and green. Okay? It does not pollute as much. It is also cleaner for factories and cars. So I'm gonna kind of thinking of as we read and pause after that paragraph, who can think of the big old smokestacks coming out of factories with all this nasty smoke polluting the air. So those smokestacks kind of look a little bit like this and have smoke coming out of the top. So we don't want those. So let's kind of circle it and cross it out in red. So we know we want green, cleaner, not red factories. Geologists are scientists who study what the earth is made of. So from that statement alone, we know geologists are scientists who study what the earth is made of. So what is the earth made of? What do we know? Well, the ground you stand on, what's in the ground? Rocks. So we're kind of right above it. Rocks is what the earth is made of. The search for natural gas begins with geologists. They know a lot about rocks. Rocks, what the earth is made of. Drawing a little arrow so we remember. They know which rocks usually have gas under them. They look for those rocks that they can begin drilling. This is like a science project. The scientists start with a guess, a hypothesis. So we talked about hypothesis before in this class. What is a hypothesis? It is a question. So we're going to draw a little question mark over the side so we remember that. Okay? They will think they will find gas under the ground. The next step is a search. The explorers use a drill to dig deep in the ground. If they find gas, the explorers drill deep holes and use pipes to get the gas from under the ground. So where else did we see under the ground? We saw it up there, so let's draw another arrow deep. So we started up here, we went deep underground. Now we're going even deeper underground. Okay? Natural gas is found in many places. It is deep beneath the surface of the earth. It is also beneath the floors of the oceans. You won't get to it if you dig a little hole. It is far down under the ground. You will not find it even with a very deep hole in Chicago. It is far under the ground in other parts of this country, and it is also in other countries. I didn't know that, so let's kind of highlight that so we remember. It's in other countries too. We'll underline it with our highlighter. Other countries, as well as this country. That's a lot of places for natural gas to be. I didn't know that before. How does natural gas get to people who need it? A pipeline takes the gas to them. So we got to remember, a pipeline takes the gas to the people who need the gas. It travels hundreds of miles. A pipeline is a set of joined pipes. It has many parts. Each part is a pipe connected to other pipes. There are more than 1 million miles of natural gas pipelines in the United States today. 1 million miles. Let's go ahead and highlight that. Of natural gas pipelines in the United States today. So, let's pause and think for a moment. If there are over 1 million miles in just the United States alone, but up here, it said they're also in other countries. So, how many miles could that be worldwide? Let's draw a little arrow down and we'll remember this question for later today and we can find it out after our reading. How many miles of pipes in the world? Okay, so we'll remember our little question for later on. Every 50 to 100 miles along those pipelines, there are stations that push the gas along. They are called compressor stations. So we'll underline so we can remember what happened. There are compressor stations every 50 to 100 miles. Okay, so we'll connect those two things. The gas travels about 35 miles an hour. So let's think about when you ride in the car or you ride in the bus or however you get your transportation. Is 35 miles an hour very fast? I don't think so. So kind of right out to the side right here. Slow. So the gas travels very slowly for millions of miles. It takes a lot of work to get natural gas to homes and businesses, but it's a great resource, so it's worth all that work. So, we look back at our notes and we can remember energy is heat. And natural gas is composed of 3 gases, methane, ethane, and propane. We use it to heat things such as our shower, bath, a grill, you cook food. It is deep and very deep underground. It's cleaner than other factories and other types of energy. Geologists find it because they can find it beneath rocks very deep underground. It's located in this country and other countries around the world. And there are millions of miles of natural gas pipelines throughout the United States. So we also remember we're going to look up how many miles there are all around the world so we can find out. And it moves very slowly through these pipes. It moves 35 miles an hour. But overall, we remember it is worth all of that work because it's so valuable. It is an American treasure. Okay, good job today.